Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Ahmed Yasser and my study number is 2406 0511 0152. So in today's video, I want to answer the questions of final test in subject philosophy of science. Okay, so the question 1. We know several theories of scientific truth, such as the correspondence, coherence, pragmatic, and religious theories. Explain these four theories and give an example for each. Okay, the answer. The correspondence theory of truth says a statement is true if it makes if it meets objective reality. For example, the statement water boils at 100 degrees Celsius at standard pressure is true. It's true because it corresponds to an observable fact in the physical world. The coherence theory of truth says a belief is true if it fits consistently within a larger logical system of beliefs. For instance, a new scientific hypothesis is accepted when it does not contradict established well-tested theories and data. The pragmatic theory of truth defines truth by practical consequences. So, an idea is considered true if it works and helps solve problems in experience, such as using a medical treatment as true and reliable because it repeatedly cures patients in practice. And the last one, the religious theory of truth, views, views truth as something that ultimately comes from God. So, a statement is true when it is in harmony with divine revelation, like believing that human life has inherent dignity because it is taught by sacred texts and religious doctrine. Question number 2. Mention some tools of scientific thinking that you know, explain why each is important, and give examples. One basic tool of scientific thinking is logical reasoning, including deduction and induction. Deduction moves from general laws to specific conclusion, while induction builds general laws from repeated observation, and both are essential in formulating and testing scientific theories. Observation and experimentation are also crucial tools because scientists collect data through careful, controlled observation and then design experiments to test hypotheses, such as measuring temperature change in a chemistry lab to confirm or reject a proposed friction law. Another important tool is critical reflection, where researchers evaluate evidence, questions, and assumptions, and look for alternative explanation, which helps avoid biases and leads to more reliable conclusion in fields like social science surveys or medical trials. The third question. Explain the difference between the rationalist and empirist paradigms in understanding how knowledge is obtained and give examples. Okay, so rationalism argues that the main source of knowledge is human reason. So certain truths can be known through thinking alone, such as mathematical truths like geometry theorems that can be proven logically without direct sensory experience. Empirism, on the other hand, states that knowledge comes primarily from sense experience. So scientists gather data through observation and experiment. For example, learning about gravity by measuring falling objects or planetary motions. In practice, modern science usually combines both paradigms. Rational reasoning is used to build theories and models, while empirical methods are used to test and correct those theories against real-world data. Question number 4. In the philosophy of science, we know three important aspects. ontology, epistemology, and axiology. Explain these three terms with examples. Ontology is a study of what exists or the nature of reality. For example, asking whether electrons, social classes, or virtual objects in cyberspace are real entities that science can meaningfully study. Epistemology is the study of knowledge and how we come to know. So it examines methods like observation, experiments, or survey and asks them when evidence is strong enough to justify a scientific claim. Axiology is the study of values, including ethical and aesthetics values. And in science, it asks how research should be used responsibly, such as considering the moral implication of artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, or environmental policies. Question number 5. Explain the hierarchy of knowledge in the philosophy of science and give examples for each level. In many philosophical views, the hierarchy of knowledge can start from everyday common sense knowledge, where people use practical experience to navigate daily life, such as farmers knowing local weather patterns from observation. Above that, there is specialized scientific knowledge where disciplines like physics, biology, or computer science use systematic methods and theories to explain phenomena. For example, using algorithms and data structure to solve complex computing systems. At a more fundamental level, philosophical and theological knowledge reflect the foundation, limit, and purposes of all other knowledge, such as asking why the universe is intelligible or what ethical goals research should serve. Question number 6. In Islam, we know the concept of Islamization of knowledge and integration of religion and science. What do these terms mean? What are their backgrounds and how are they implemented? Islamization of knowledge means re-examining modern knowledge in the light of Islamic worldview and values, so that concepts and methods do not contradict core beliefs such as Tawhid, human dignity, and moral responsibility. Integration of religion and science aims to connect empirical findings with religious guidance, seeing natural laws as signs of God, and using scientific progress to support justice, welfare, and environmental stewardship rather than ignoring spiritual dimension. These ideas emerged as response to the secularization and value neutral approach of Western science, and they are implemented through curriculum design, Islamic research institution, and ethical guidelines that encourage, for example, halal industry research, Islamic economics, and environmentally friendly technologies inspired by Quranic teachings. So that is my answer for the question of final test in philosophy of science. Thanks for the time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.